The Detroit Lions go on the road and defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-6 and will move to 5-1 on the season. In a very impactful game, if you want to talk about playoff seeding, the Lions basically have locked up the 3 seed already. I mean, I know it's week 6, but man, that game right there, if all goes well throughout the rest of the season, we win 12 games, we're going to have at least a 3 seed. And we're actually right now competing for the 2 seed, maybe in the 1 seed, as the 49ers and the Eagles just lost. So the Eagles did not look great. They lost to the Jets. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. So the Lions and the Eagles are going in their tough part of the schedule. They got, teams like the Niners, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, Dolphins, all coming up. They're going to suffer some losses. And the Lions, we're entering the toughest part of our schedule, whereas, we have the Baltimore Ravens. We had the Bucs this week, but obviously we have the Baltimore Ravens next week in Baltimore, and then we're also in LA in a couple weeks as well. So we're entering that tougher part of the season. I got a lot of confidence in this team to at least, maybe lose 1 or 2 at most. But other than that, I mean, you look at the rest of the schedule, it's, Packers, Vikings twice, Bears twice, Broncos, at Saints, which will be tough, at Cowboys, which will be tough. I really don't see many games this team could lose. And we're 5-1 now. We won a tough game, 20-6 in Tampa. It was a good win. Let's go ahead and get right into the game recap. The offense definitely struggled in the first half, but despite that, the defense, man, they stepped up. They got us our first points. Actually, Will Harris had the interception, which gave us those first 3 points. The offense was just not clicking at first. Ben Johnson wasn't really calling. He didn't really get into his bag today, which is fine, even though I think it would have been nice. But definitely had some big plays down the stretch. But, offensively, the first half, we struggled. It was kind of frustrating. We only had 10 points at halftime. But to look at the bright side, our defense was giving us all the opportunities we could ask for. And we ended up capitalizing on a couple. But for the most part, it was just a defensive performance that really, helped us win this game. Holding Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. And I know people are going to sit here and talk about Baker Mayfield. Oh, he's not even a top 20 QB. And I know. And that's the thing is, you can look at this game one way or the other. You can look at this as a big win. In a away game against a 3-1 team coming off a bye week. Or you can look at it as, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is not that bad, okay? He's been in bad situations in Cleveland. Look how, there's never been a good quarterback in Cleveland. Look at, even in Carolina, he was okay there. Went to the Rams, was actually not bad there. And then now here he is in Tampa, and he's having the best start to his career he's ever had. So it's like, you want to sit here and say all this shit about Baker Mayfield, he's not that bad of a quarterback. So other than that, second half, man, we turned it up. Offense got going. Defense stayed the same. And we had a hell of a performance. I mean, we showed up, offense, got some stuff going. I know it was only 20 points, but hey, we keep the streak alive. Sorry. The streak alive of 20 points or more in every game. Makes me happy. Makes me smile. But congrats to the Detroit Lions. They're 5-1. Let's go ahead and get into some of the other stuff, starting with some of the top performers. I'm just going to go through a couple players and their stats. Starting with Jared Goff, 30 of 44, 353 passing yards, which, wow. And then 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Great game from him. Probably one of his best as a Detroit Lion. It's about 69% completion percentage. And just phenomenal game. I can't say anything else. Jared Goff has been that guy this season. And he showed up today when we needed him to because the run game was not there. David Montgomery, really hope he's okay. I just got the notification from ESPN that the x-rays so far have been negative, so he should be okay. Hopefully he doesn't have to go on IR, but Jahmyr Gibbs should be back as well soon. So I think Montgomery should be back within the next week or two, but we will see. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 12 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. I think it's easy to say this guy's a top 5 receiver after that game, coming off the missed game last week. What a performance. I mean, every time I looked up, I just saw him. I saw number 14 with the ball in his hands. The dude had played phenomenal. And then Alex Anzalone defensively, who for the second straight week has led the Lions in tackles. And he has the most on the team now. Obviously, Brian Branch has been dealing with injuries, but 7 tackles with 2 assists. Lions went up, and they put up 380 total yards. They gave up 251 total, which I'll take that any day. And then they also only gave up 46 rushing yards. So, once again, holding them to under 100 yards, holding them to under 50 yards rushing. And then So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the most outstanding players and most outstanding performances. Starting with Jameson Williams, 2 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. He had probably the biggest play of the game, 3rd and 10. He dropped the pass before, and people are going to probably sit there and say it's a drop on him. He was wide open, and Jared Goff completely underthrew him because he had pressure in his face. Guess what? He ends up catching the very next pass. It's like, if you want to sit there and blame that on J-Mo, go ahead, because it wasn't his fault. It's not hard to see. Could he have caught it? Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'd say he probably catch that, 8 out of 10 times or so. But it's not the end of the world. It's like, is it really that big of a deal? It was underthrown. He had to dive forward after, all of his momentum was taking him the other way. It's just a bad throw by Jared Goff. He had pressure in his face, so it's not Jameson Williams' fault, so it's whatever. But the touchdown catch, a 45-yard just bomb where he was just like looking for the ball, trying to find it, all of a sudden turns around, and with a hand on the ball, he hauled that thing in. I mean, I don't know if you saw the replay. The dude's hand was on the ball, and he somehow hauled that in. Jameson Williams, I'm glad you're back. Jared Goff, obviously, already mentioned him in his stats, and then also Amon-Ra St. Brown already mentioned him in his stats, but you got to give them their flowers, man. They have been that dynamic duo all season. And hopefully Jameson Williams, that he is back. And, I was really frustrated in the first half because they were not targeting him. They weren't using him. It didn't even seem like he was on the field. And then they finally started using him in the second half on that one drive. They started looking towards him a couple of times. They got him that one little 9-yard, 8-yard play, which is really nice. Again, he was wide open and went down, got up, got an extra yard or two. That was awesome. And then, yeah, it was nice to see Jameson Williams get a chance to just, make some plays. And he ended up cashing in for a touchdown. He got the big touchdown in the game that ended up basically, here it is, on cue, that ended up basically sealing the game for us. Without that, I don't know if we would have won. I mean, our defense was playing good, and that's where we probably would have, but we wouldn't have kept our 20-point streak going, so that's great. So Jameson Williams, thank you. Looking at some of the biggest and most impactful plays, obviously, like I mentioned, the Jameson Williams touchdown. I think that was for sure probably like the pivotal, just changing moment in the game. Bucks kind of had some momentum. Offense finally clicked, got it going. The Craig Reynolds block on the Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. If you didn't see that, go watch that. I mean, holy crap, he just drilled one of their players. And helped Amon-Ra get into the end zone. I think that was also a 3rd down play, but I just remember watching that, and I just remember seeing him come from off the screen and just blow that dude up, and then Amon-Ra just somehow stayed in bounds. That was awesome. And then the defense, man. I could talk about the defense all day. So much improved from years prior. Probably one of the best defenses we had, and we're not even fully healthy. We're missing CJ, Brian Branch, Manuel Mosley, and I think we're missing a couple guys, obviously on the edge, James Houston, Josh Pascal. Missing a ton of guys, and this defense has still been awesome. And then Will Harris, obviously the interception, that was the one of the bigger, more impactful plays, helped us get 3 points. So great job there. And now just to kind of finish things up, overall takeaways, Jared Goff is legit. He has been awesome for us this year and is playing as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. If you disagree, I don't care. He's probably a top maybe 4 quarterback this year, actually. I'd put him in the top 4 to 5. I'd probably put him at 4, actually. Amon-Ra St. Brown is also top 5. No debate. He is amazing. Lions, this is something I've been noticing. All the players, man, they're having fun. They show up every week, unlike previous teams. Even last year, games like the Panthers, where our defense didn't show up. Even our offense didn't show up in that game. Games, you could talk about Seattle this year, but you know what? That was just the defense dealing with injuries. We were missing a ton of guys. And Seattle's offense is good, and, refs kind of help too, but I'm not going to sit there and talk about that. But that was just, it wasn't a great game from us. I'll just say that. It wasn't that bad, though. So I'm not going to mention that. But just years prior, the Lions, they're not used to winning these kind of games. And this is a big win. Walking into their stadium and winning, it's a big win. So they should be proud. So they're having fun. They're showing up. They're tied for the best record in the NFL right now. They're banged up, and they're still great. The defense is just legit. And then, obviously, Jameson Williams is making an impact. It was awesome. Jameson Williams, he's here. Get ready. Final takeaways as the highlights finish up here. I believe this is the last clip. Final takeaways. Even without the run game, Craig Reynolds was able to make an impact, and the offense was able to step up in the passing game. Only had about 40 yards rushing, but man, We offense stepped up when they needed to. Defense stepped up as well. They've been awesome this year. Can't say anything. Aaron Glenn's got his stuff together. He's been amazing. Love it. And didn't get any sacks really, but we were able to pressure Baker a lot. And Hutch, didn't get any sacks, but he was still pressuring. Lee McNeil had a great game as well. Just got to get some sacks. That's it. Run defense was great, under 50 yards rushing for them. And then the Lions are 5-1, tied for the 1 seed. So that's going to end the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Go Lions, 5-1.